All right. Well, hello, Facebook world. Hello, hello, hello. We are live tonight. I'm so excited to be with you. I'm hoping everyone is tuning in and joining us now. And I know we had a lot of comments about from people that were looking forward to us doing this type of Facebook Live. So I'm Pastor Barbara from Kingdom Celebration Center, and we just want to welcome you tonight to our mental health talk chat.
Yeah.
And we have with us tonight Miss Tawaka Turner. And once I turn it over to her, she can introduce herself and tell you a little bit more about her. But I just want to say, hey, Facebook world, hey, Kingdom Celebration Center. We love you. We miss you. We pray that you are being well, that you're taking care of yourself. We want to take care of you by offering you some mental health tonight, some mental health therapy. Hey, guess what? You're getting it for free tonight. Oh my God. That's not going to happen all the time, people. But we're glad Mr. Walker decided to join us tonight. And I know you're going to have some questions as she's talking. And as the questions pop up, we'll make sure that she can answer those questions for you. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to her and let her introduce herself, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, thank you so much, First Lady.
You're welcome.
So first of all, I just want to thank Kingdom Celebration and Pastor and First Lady for just providing this opportunity, because a lot of times people look to the church for help, and sometimes the church disregards the mental health aspect.
Yes.
So I am grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
You're very
So
welcome.
again, I am Tawaka, and I have my bachelor's degree in psychology from the greatest HBCU, Alabama State University in Montgomery, Alabama. I also have my master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. I'm a nationally certified counselor. I am a part of the American Counseling Association.
Yes.
I'm a part of the Maryland Council of Mental Health Counseling. I'm also a member of the Mental Health Association of Maryland. So mental health is my thing. I love people. I love helping people. I was born to do this. So just to give guys like a brief so that everybody gets time to come in, we're going to talk about the background like of what mental health is. We're going to talk about how coronavirus is affecting mental health. We're going to talk about how fear and the media plays into mental health, and then ways to combat like symptoms of like mental health disorders that you may be experiencing. And then if we have time at the end, I want to give you guys a brief assessment. Okay? How's that sound, First Lady?
That sounds awesome. I'm excited about it.
Awesome. Okay, so here we go. First of all, what is mental health, right? According to, I'm gonna give y'all a big name, the World Health Organization. Their definition is subjective being one perceived self-efficacy, autonomy, competence, intergenerational dependence, and self-actual emotional potential. What? What does that mean, really? So to me, when I think about mental health, it's just being able to effectively accept, go through, and bounce back from life stresses. Simple as that. And some people have that capability because they don't have any type of illnesses. And some people might have difficulties with that because they might have some type of dis-ease in their body.
Mm-hmm.
So biblically, it's difficult to find something in the Bible that talks about mental health specifically. However, we can find anything in the Word,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
There are scriptures that hint at, self-discipline. That comes with mental health. Self-control. That comes with mental health. Also, fear, which is a big thing that's happening right now.
Yes.
And fear is the actual epidemic, if we want to really talk about it, because we don't know what's going on. And so when you don't know, like ignorance breeds fear, uncertainty, it breeds fear. And so when you're living in fear, you can't be living in faith.
Right.
They cannot coexist. So with that being said, technically, when it comes to mental illness, it's a chemical imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
That's when, if we want to be scientific, we're not gonna stay that long, but some people like that kind of stuff. That's when your serotonin, it doesn't absorb properly in the brain, or your norepinephrine. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, maybe you don't, but it's unevenly distributed in the brain, and also when their synapses, they just don't fire correctly. So there's something going on, and a lot of times that stuff happens from past trauma, past crisis.
I think we lost her. Something's going on with Mr. Walker's signal at her home. Let's see if I can get her back.
More than ever, and especially if before they already had some type of mental difficulties, then everything is heightened because of just life in general. But like, what people don't realize, stress, it causes us to just, whether it's a positive or a negative, it affects us, right? So we could be stressed from getting a new job, and we're excited, but it causes stress on the body.
Yes.
Everybody's excited about a new baby, but that is a stressful situation. Also, on the other end of that, when negative things happen, that causes stress as well. So what we have to do is become aware. Like, that's one way to combat mental illness, to become aware of it. Like I said, being able to accept what it is that you're feeling, because at the end of the day, everybody is feeling something, but the way that it presents itself might be differently depending on if you are in your mental, you got your mental facilities, or if you don't.
Right.
Okay, and if you don't, that's okay, because you don't have to suffer from your mental illness.
Right.
It's one thing to have something, but suffering from it, that's the part where we don't want. And I'm grateful for the church, for, Kingdom Celebration, for like tapping into that, because we don't have to suffer, even if we are depressed, even if we are anxious, even if we can't get our fix of whatever our addiction is. Some people were addicted to shopping. They can't go out no more. Some people got their fix from being in social gatherings and being around people.
That is
so
good.
They can't get that fix anymore.
Yes.
But you don't have to suffer from it, because, like right now, we're using this platform to gather, right?
Yes.
I know one question that you asked, First Lady, is how can the church help?
Yes.
Forsaking not the assembly. This is an assembly.
Yes.
We are still gathering together to lean and depend on each other, to glean from each other. Like that scripture, let's see, it's in Hebrews 10, 23 through 25. Somebody pin that if you don't mind. So Hebrews 10, that's a scripture that talks about forsaking not the assembly. And it's deeper than just going to church. Like, people get stuck on, I gotta go to church. No, it's moments like this where we're reaching out to each other. We are iron and sharpening iron. And like during this social distancing, we don't have to be socially isolated.
Yes.
Two different things.
That's good. That's good. And Tawaka, I just wanted to add something there. You talked a little bit about our mental state. I think she went out on me again. Can you hear me?
I hear you, but you're frozen. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're frozen. Okay, there you go. I see you
now.
Let's
just keep talking.
Yes. So you talked a little bit about, where people are now, and how some people, which was really good, some people are addicted to shopping, and they can't really go shopping like that now. Some people like to be around people like myself, and you can't always do that right now. So how does someone that's used to being around people or used to being that bubbly personality that hugs and kisses, and they can't, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. Continue.
Okay. They can't do that right now. So what do they do to relieve that, that desire to
Right.
to be around people, to hug people, to love on people in that way, and they can't do that right now.
Yes, ma'am. So one thing is we got to have to be adaptable. That's who we are. We were created to be resilient people.
Yes.
And resilience is being able to bounce back when something happens. You will never return back to the original. Like people think we're going to get, no, we're never going to go back.
No.
This is going to be a new normal that we're going to
Yes.
have to continue to create. So maybe this was a moment that that person had to do some introspection and realize that I need to find other things to do than shopping or
Yes.
to giving in to that addiction. So so some of the ways, I know another question that you posed to me is how do you stop yourself from from getting further in whatever your dis-ease is,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So creating a routine and order. We had that. We would wake up, we would go to work, we would do lunch, finish work, come home, do dinner with the kids, with the family, TV, go to sleep, wake up and do it all over again. So for those 5 days, we had structure. We still need that.
Yes.
For mental stability. Have a bedtime. Go to bed and wake up with purpose. Be intentional with your time.
I love that.
And now is the perfect time to really explore you and become intimate with your family, your friends, and closer to God. From, more than anything.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Let's see. Another thing. When it comes to mental illness, knowing that what you're feeling is normal and that it's okay to get help or to ask somebody to help you or to give somebody permission to check you. Give somebody permission to ask you the hard questions.
Yes.
Giving somebody permission to check on you and to check you when something's not right. Also, like learning your triggers. What is it when I'm bored? Do I get down when I'm bored? When I'm lonely, do I make irrational decisions? When I can't do the thing that I've always done, whether it's drinking or smoking or going dancing, what can I do to combat my triggers? So once you know that about yourself and know what your triggers are, you definitely can figure out ways when you feel like I feel myself getting down because I haven't talked to somebody in 3 days. You gotta reach out, send out a mass text. Hey, I'm not doing good. Somebody.
Yes.
Check on me. So, ask for that help. And it's okay. That is actually strength.
Yes.
That's the strength that you're possessing and not a sign of weakness when you ask for help.
Yes.
So another thing
I want to add something that I love how you said. You're fine. I'm enjoying this tonight, but I really love when you said give yourself permission.
Yes.
That is so amazing, and I think that what people are going to have to learn in our new norm is to give yourself permission to allow people in, because we're so used to being in a rat race, and like you said, working every day and getting up and going to work and getting dressed and coming home and then going to church on Sundays and then doing the routine all over again, where nobody really gets to see you. Nobody gets to you really don't get to dig deep into who you are, and you don't let people in. And now that we're quarantined, you're dealing with yourself. You're sitting in your living room, or you're sitting in your bedroom or in your kitchen, and it's quiet and it's solitude, and it's the phones aren't ringing 24 hours a day, and nobody's bombarding you in your office, and nobody's taking you out to lunch. So you have to give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling. And I think that's going to help us heal in this hour if we give ourselves permission to recognize, you know what? I'm lonely. I do want somebody to call me, and not be accusatory, but just say, you know what? It's okay to feel like I need somebody. It's important for us, for Bishop and I, it's important for us to reach out to you guys, during the week. Yes. And we'll just send a text, or we'll just send a Zoom saying, we miss you, we love you. As pastors, we're so used to connecting to the body, and when you're not physically connected to the body, you miss that. You yearn for that. So our way of healing in that moment is to send you guys a text and say, we miss you, we love you, because it allows us to release so that we can, because we know our triggers, so it allows us to release so that we won't sit in the house and be depressed or sad or miserable because we didn't give ourselves permission. So that's a good word, Facebook. You need to hashtag that. Give yourself permission to feel and to let people in. It's important. Okay, I just wanted to share that, but go ahead. This is good.
No, that's good. Like, so one thing that you said was, like, when we're giving ourselves permission, we also have to give others permission.
That's good.
Because some people, like how we are, I ain't talked to them in a week, but I don't know if I call them. I don't want them to be acting funny,
yes.
And so we have to give our people permission to check on us and to say, okay, I'm not going to.
What happened to her sound? Oh.
Knowing the difference between what social distancing means, that's proximity, meaning we can't be in close touch. But that does not talk about disconnecting. We're not supposed to isolate because, that's not what we can't survive like that.
Right.
No man is an island. So we still have to find ways to connect to each other, find ways to even connect with strangers, use a self-help app if you have to.
That's
or,
good.
join a virtual exercise group. There's so many things that we can do to stay connected. So I know with one thing, when you have a family, so you got the husband, the wife, kids, or just somebody having somebody else, it is way easier to deal with this isolation. But then when you have people that are single, people that live by themselves, it's a little bit more difficult to find ways to deal with their self, to deal with oneself, and to deal with one's insecurities. And so that's when you got to know who you are. You got to know if you are introvert or extrovert. You got to know what revives you. You got to have self-awareness to know what makes you happy. And I think it's good to calm down, because when you're going through life, there are moments where, somebody may tell a joke and you laugh, right? Or your kids do something silly and you're happy. But you really don't know what is it that makes me happy. If I was all by myself, if it was just me and Jesus, me and nothing else, what can I do to make myself happy? And that comes with self-reflection, self-awareness, even doing like assessments of yourself that we might get into later. I might, tell you about the Myers-Briggs. Yes, that's ma'am. Good. So Myers-Briggs is a personality assessment, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But knowing who you are and what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what makes you feel empowered, what makes you feel useful. Yes. So being at home and not being able to work, you might feel like I am wasting my life. Right. I'm not doing what I was called to do. I'm not fulfilling any type of purpose. My passion is dying because I can't get out and do what I was, what I wanted to do. Gratefully, I'm grateful that I still am essential. I get to do my counseling over the phone. I get to still reach out to people, and I'm still able to help. So I get to still feel that self-gratification. But for the people that are in the entertainment industry, for instance, or people that deal with people but can't now, they might feel like they are wasting time. But this is the time where you find a new niche, find a side hustle. Find something a hobby that you always wanted to do, but you never had time to do. Like I got a little side something happening. I ain't gonna tell y'all about it right now, but
So she went out on us again, but when she comes back, I will ask the question that Prophet Della Vega wanted to know. Must be her signal in her home.
This is time to get to know each other, to get to learn each other,
yes.
to those little secret quirks that person might not share. This is an opportunity to really indulge in other people's activities and what they like to do. So I have 3 kids, and they are all totally different. Even though they're only 11, 12, and 13, same age, but they definitely have different things. So making it an effort, like, okay, number 2, tonight is your night. What would you like us to know about you? What would you like to do? She's into Korean pop culture. So we might learn some Korean one day because that's what she wants to do. And that's indulging her. And that's creating like new family traditions, new family bonding time, new family activities that you can do outside of this.
Yes.
Also, like maybe trying different cuisines. On Wednesday, we're going to try some Ethiopian cuisine. So everybody get together and bring recipes together and cook together. Like, these are... That's the question that you had.
I have a question to walk. Yes. Someone sent a question in. They said, what would you say to families who are losing loved ones and adjusting to this new normal of not being able to say goodbye like times of old? Families not being able to have normal funerals. Wow. Wow.
Yes, that is a heavy question. How do you deal with death when you can't say your normal goodbye in a normal way?
Right.
They're doing virtual funerals now. They're doing burial site FaceTiming things now. So you're really using, technology is how they're dealing with it. But for the people that needs that closure, because sometimes that's what the funeral is for the closure. To say your final, look at them one last time.
Yes.
Maybe this is a time that you could write a letter to that person.
That's good.
Closure. You could speak to their loved ones, do something in their memory.
Yes.
So we could create other more positive ways to deal with grief in a healthy way, because grief is difficult.
Yes.
And it's very difficult. And, for everybody out there that's dealing with it, finding ways to still get with the family and love on each other and let each other know that you're there for each other.
Yes.
Is a way to kind of deal with it, with this new normal.
Yes, that's good. Thank you so much. I just wanted to throw that in there because
I know one thing that I would do when helping somebody to deal with grief, we will, if there's any forgiveness that needs to happen, write that letter of forgiveness and then maybe burn it, flush it, rip it up into pieces, blow bubbles and speak it into the atmosphere.
Yes.
Like, do something, whatever it takes for you. If it was, I'm sorry I didn't say I love you enough, write a poem. I mean, do something to get it out. Feel what you're feeling when you're feeling it, but know that it's fleeting and it will get better and that it is passing. Just like you're not always happy and excited, you're not going to always be sad.
That's good. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes, ma'am. Let's see. You got any questions for me right now, First Lady?
If anybody has any questions, do we have any questions right now? If anybody has any questions, if you would just post them on Facebook Live, we'll go ahead and answer those questions for you at this time if you have any. We don't see any more right now.
Okay. So here we go with when you are experiencing feelings of anxiety. What can you do when you're feeling anxious?
Yes.
Be anxious for nothing, but in all things, through prayer and supplication. So that's the scripture that we use in the church. But for the people like, okay, I prayed, but I'm still anxious. Now what? So try, there's something that I do with my clients and also with my kids and my family. listen to a song and we might just focus on the words of the song, or we might just focus on the drum beat or the piano or the guitar. So focusing and training your brain to be still and to focus, you call it into attention, because we do life and death. We have that, and we have that ability, right, to cause our flesh to submit to our spirit. So when you're doing mindfulness, it's a way to kind of tap into that and tell your flesh to be still and submit to what you're doing at that moment.
I love it.
Also, when it comes to, let's see, if somebody is dealing with depression and they're low and they don't want to get out of bed and they don't feel like talking and all they want to do is cry.
Yes.
You know what? Just cry. Don't fight it.
Yes.
Let the tears out, right?
Yes.
Let them out. Let it flow, because there's some cleansing that happens.
Yes.
And, journal about it. I am crying and I do not know why.
Mm-hmm.
So what? You don't have to know the answers. Just let it flow, let it out. Don't try to make it make sense, right? And this is for people that may not necessarily have that chemical imbalance. Mm-hmm. This is for people that are experiencing just symptoms of anxiety, symptoms of depression, but you're not. You don't have that diagnosis.
Yes.
For the ones that have that diagnosis, take your meds.
Yes, please take your meds. Please take your meds.
I am a holistic person, but I do know that the value in taking your medication when you're imbalanced, until you get to the point where you are out of the fog and you've learned some tools on coping. Then you do need your meds to be stable. Absolutely. And that's okay. And don't be ashamed of it.
Yes, yes.
Don't be ashamed of it at all.
Yes.
And if you had some proper, therapy and if you were willing to do the work, you could get to a point where you didn't need meds. You could. But if you need them, take them.
Take them.
And we're going to pray and we're going to believe Jesus.
Yes.
While we're taking our meds.
While we're taking our meds. I know that's right. One of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten in my life, it's been, I guess over 20 some years now, about maybe 18 years since my husband and I lost our son to suicide. And, being in the church, it was a struggle because, of course, in the church, they want you to just pray and everything's going to be fine. But one of the best pieces of advice I got from my former first lady was, if you don't want to get out of bed, don't you get out of bed. If you don't want to comb your hair, don't comb your hair. If you want to scream all day, scream all day. If you want to laugh, laugh. Whatever you want to do, feel it. And if you don't want to pray today, then don't pray. There's no blueprint for how you're going to go through your grief. Nobody can tell you how to grieve. But and it freed me. It liberated me because, of course, being in the church, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to pray and I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be strong. But she was like, no, you feel what you're feeling and go through what you're going through, and you're going to heal from that. And that's the best advice she's ever given me. And to this day, I always tell people the same thing. If you don't want to cry, don't cry. If you want to cry, cry. Whatever you want to feel it. Because your body needs that right now.
Yes, that's right. And that's you accepting your truth. Okay. That is definitely you feeling what you feel, no matter how it feels, but just feeling it. That's you accepting your truth and actually going through and allowing your body to do what it naturally does.
Yes.
When you're fighting it, that means you are not living in your truth, and it causes more.
Oh, that's really good. So we lost her again. When she comes back, I'll put the other question out there for her.
That are without getting it reset and without getting it properly taken care of. So if there's a break in your mental, if something happens, which it comes from crisis and trauma and life stresses. So there is something that happens that breaks you a little bit. You got to get it reset in order for you to function, in order for it to work properly. So, to think I'm losing my mind because I can't get it together. No, your mind is in stress right now. Yes. So we got to figure out how to ma'am.
We have another question for you.
Okay, what's the question?
How do you keep yourself calm on the inside or to have peace in your heart and mind when you're staying in the house? I'm an extrovert.
How do you have... I'm sorry.
They say they're an extrovert.
Okay.
And how do they keep themselves calm on the inside or have peace in their heart and mind when they're stuck in the house?
Right. So how do the extroverts deal with being stuck? How to combat your anxiety and to be calm and how to remain in peace? Is that the question?
Yes.
So Mr. and Mrs. Extrovert, this is when you call on your friends and your family and you bug them and you call them and you video chat and you make videos and you go live and you dance and you scream and, so there are other ways to get attention because that's what a lot of extroverts need and thrive off that attention. That's where they get their power from.
Yes.
So you got to figure out write a song, post it. Get with your friends through like maybe Zoom or a house party and just wild out, do what you do all the time.
That's good.
I know like my Zeta anniversary was April 1st and we were supposed to go to Atlanta for a weekend and we were just like, so we did a house party and we, laughed and talked and reminisced and caught up with each other just like, we would have done if we were in person. Now, like the stroll ain't the same when you do it by yourself, which is the right. But still, you can still do it if that's what you need.
Yes. That's good advice. That's good.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm glad. So the person, she knows that she's an extrovert. So that's a good thing to know. Because when you know who you are, to thy own self be true. So now that's when your creativity has to come into play. And you got to figure out ways how to tap into that part of you without it being cumbersome or feeling like you're just bored out of your mind. Write a song, build something. Like with my son. My son, he's a boy, typical 11-year-old, has all of this energy. He wants to jump off the stairs, flip onto the skateboard, you know what I mean? Like all this energy.
Yes.
What can we do? So let's get the wibbles out. Let's put some music on and dance until exhaustion.
Yes.
So using what you know who you are to your advantage.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
That's good.
Did
Thank
I cover
you.
all your questions, ma'am?
That covered them so far.
Okay. So so everybody that's listening, let's talk about the Myers-Briggs personality type because knowing who you are will make it so much easier for you to figure out what you can do during this time that accentuates you as a person. Okay? So with Myers-Briggs, there are 8 personality options, but 16 personality types, and it's between 4 converse groups. So you're introverted or extroverted. You are a sensing person or you use intuition. You are a thinking person or you use feeling. You use judgment or you perceive things.
Mm-hmm.
So the other person is on I'm sorry, somebody just asked a question on my Facebook Live. She's on, we're Zooming right now. Sorry. So you could go to www.personalityperfect.com/16-personality-type. Would somebody please type that in? www.personalityperfect.com/16-personality-types. You're fine. Aisha, thank you.
And they say, can you say that one more time?
I sure will. www.personalityperfect.com/16-personality-types.
Thank you.
So don't go to it now.
Yes, don't go to it now.
Don't go to it now, because I'm gonna give you a brief test. So here, I want you to listen carefully to to these options. So this is a
I can't hear her.
so that you'll know how to deal with yourself, how you can know your own potential and how to release that potential, and how to be your maximum self. Okay, let's see. And no personality type is better than the other. It just is what it is. You are who you are.
Yes.
Point blank period. So here's the first question. When you're feeling overwhelmed, right, and you need to recharge yourself, if you like to hang out with friends, then give yourself an E. But if you like to spend time alone, give yourself an I. So that determines if you're extroverted or introverted. Okay? So when you're feeling overwhelmed and you need to recharge, First Lady, do you hang out with friends or do you spend time alone?
I'm an introvert. I like to spend time alone, especially when I'm overwhelmed. I
Yes,
need that time just to myself. I want the house to myself. I want the car to myself. I want my office to myself. I just want to be alone. I can't hear.
So when you this is what set of adjectives best describe you? So do you like to live in the moment and you're present and you're grounded in reality? Are you detail oriented and are you a doer? So if that's you, give yourself an S. As living in the moment, present, grounded in reality, detail oriented, and a doer. Or do you love ideas and theories? Like you like to imagine all of the possibilities. You're very whimsical and you enjoy like symbolism and meaning. Or you're a dreamer. So you would give yourself an N for that. So if you love ideas and theories, that's a dreamer. That's an N. Or if you're grounded in reality, detail oriented, that's an S. What are you, First Lady?
I am detail oriented. I'm a doer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So number 3, when you have to make a big decision, how do you make that choice? Do you use your head with logic and reason? If so, then give yourself a T. Or do you go with your heart and you use your emotion or consideration? Then you'll give yourself an F. So the consideration is like considering other people's feelings over your own. Okay, so if you go with your head, that's a T. If you go with your heart, that's an S. What do you think? What do you?
You know, that's a difficult one because it could be either or for me. Sometimes it fluctuates between the two. Most of the time, I'm always in my heart.
Okay.
And I think I should be in my head. So I would say the heart more so than the head.
Ma'am. So a lot of women are innately think with our heart because we're nurturers and we're the heartbeats of our family, of our circles. So it would make sense that you are more emotional and you consider other people's feelings a little bit more when you're making a decision. But when it comes to a man who is the head and he is the brain and the leader of the house, then he's more logical.
That's
and of course,
true.
it'd be more rational and use more reason in that.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
Yes, that's your bishop. That's your apostle.
That's right, Pastor. So y'all got your yin and your yang. You gotta, come together and make it a full circle.
Yeah.
All right. So the fourth one is if you have to take like a trip or you have a trip plan or an event plan. Do you make firm decisions in advance and are you structured and you like to plan? If so, that's a J. Or would you rather just keep things open and spontaneous and flexible? If so, then that's a P. So if you like structure, planning, firm decisions in advance, that's a J. If you would rather keep things open and spontaneous, that's a P. What are you?
I'm a J. It has to be structured and planned way ahead of time. I have to know what I'm going to do when I get there. I have it all mapped out for us. What we're gonna do when we get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, which Apostle hates because he wants to rest. But I'm ready to get up and go see everything and do everything. I have it all planned out for the whole vacation before we go.
Oh, we haven't technically. Yeah, what? I didn't get the last part of what you said. I'm sorry.
I said I like to plan the whole thing out before we go. If we're on vacation, it's really not vacation for me. I've already mapped out. I've already researched. I know what sightseeing tours I want to go on. I know what exhibits I want to see.
Mhm.
And it's going to start at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I'm like that a lot of times too. But sometimes, like, I will go with the flow. So, according to you, you would be introverted, sensing, feeling, and judging.
Yes.
So, with that, that is ISFJ. I'm going to tell you what person you are.
Okay.
Because, like, it's 16 different personalities. So you got a giver and a craftsman or a provider, like different people call you and tell you about yourself. Is that okay?
Yes, go ahead. I'm fine.
Yes, ma'am. So this, according to Myers-Briggs, ISFJ is the nurturer. That person is a philanthropist, and they are always ready to give back and return generosity with even more generosity.
That is so
The people
me.
and things, I know, the people and things they believe in will be upheld and supported with enthusiasm and unselfishness. You are warm and kind-hearted. You value harmony and cooperation and are
Yes.
likely to be sensitive to other people's feelings.
Yes.
People value you for your consideration and awareness and your ability to bring out the best in others.
I love it. Oh, that is so me.
Yes? Was that you?
That
Did
was
I just-
me.
Yes.
Everybody's commenting on here. That's
knowing
me.
that about yourself. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad that
Yes.
you know that. So
Yes.
knowing that about you, knowing that you are a nurturer, so during this time of isolation and social distancing,
Yes.
knowing that about you, you'll be able to take that. I'm a nurturer. I am recharged when I'm able to do for others. So maybe your thing would be to find ways to serve your family, to serve others, and you do that already.
Yes.
With,
Yes.
with the food drives and taking care of your people, your staff.
Yes.
Like, you're already doing exactly what it is you were created to do.
Wow, that's amazing. I love it. Woo, 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 woo.
Yes. So that's the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator.
Okay.
Again, www.personalityperfect.com/16-personality-types. So learn yourself, find yourself,
Yes.
and you'll definitely be able to be better at the end of this thing than you were when you came in.
That is so good. Thank you for that.
You are so welcome. You're welcome. So thank you for this opportunity. Like, I really appreciate, having this time.
Yes.
Because everybody don't put church and mental health together. So you realizing, like, you are in the will of God with this.
Amen.
One thing I know, we were talking about fear. That's what this pandemic is. So, being able to love on each other, because
Yes.
love is what heals fear.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So let's see. First John 4:18. There is no fear in love. Perfect love drives fear. Drives out fear,
Yes.
and the one who fears is man. So if you are dealing with something mental at this moment, having mental difficulties, get around some love, because you will be made perfect in that.
Oh, yes.
And that's kind of all I got.
Oh,
If you got
okay.
more
Woo,
questions.
woo, woo, woo. We have any more questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Have
I
any
wasn't
questions?
ready for all those questions you sent me
That
at
last
like
website she
5:45. I was
Um,
just in the work. So it was like, she
Oh.
got a curriculum for me. Okay.
I'm so glad you did. They want the website again?
Yeah, that last one she gave.
She just gave the same website again.
Yeah, it was the same website. That's where you can go and actually learn more about your different personalities.
Okay. Apostle said, can you say it out aloud one more time?
I sure will. www.personalityperfect.com/16 hyphen personality hyphen types.
Types.
Yes, TYPES.
Oh.
So that's where you could go and learn yourself, pretty much.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
As you can see, you guys learned about me tonight. You already know I'm a nurturer, so
Yes,
I'm
right.
I'm walking in my call.
You are, and that's good that you are aware and like you're doing the will of God, and you're gonna always feel fulfilled in that
I
because
do.
you're doing what you were created to do.
Yes, I do.
Yes, ma'am.
And I was home, so I've been out, doing the food drives every week, and because we're essential personnel for the child care center, I've been at the office. So from Thursday of last week, Tawaka, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I was at home. Oh
Wow.
my God.
Wow.
I just felt like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I felt bad because I wasn't feeding the community. I felt bad because I wasn't at my office where the staff was. I mean, it was just a lot. So I learned a lot about myself being home for those 5 days. Okay, what can I do? So I just started focusing that time on prayer. And the same way that I nurture people when I see them physically, God told me to nurture them that way in prayer. So
Yes, ma'am.
I was sending prayers out to people while I was at home because I felt like I was giving back like I was supposed to by praying for people and sending those prayers to them, saying, this is how the Father wanted me to pray for you today. So I thank you so much for giving us permission to learn about ourselves and teaching us about ourselves tonight. And I think it was important because I've been hearing from a lot of people, about the stress and about the anxiety and about the pressure. So I wanted to do something to encourage them, to let them know it's okay. We just have to give ourselves permission. I'm sorry. Apostle.
We're all feeling the same pressure. We're all under the same stress. It's just the way that you deal with it.
Yes.
That sets you apart.
Yes.
And it's about your perception of it. If you look at this as something that's gloomy, that then that's what it'll be for you. But if you're looking at it as an opportunity to become more intimate with God and intimate with your loved ones.
Yes. She froze on me again. Was there a question?
So I enjoy not having to go into the office, and downtime of just relaxing. Being able to read. Ooh. Being able to read and study and continue to do some of the things that I was like, I want to get into this. So, okay, well, let's figure it out. Let me do my audiobook and let me read about it and, find ways to make myself better.
Yes. I think we had another question. Do we have another question?
Okay.
Do she have a contact that she may want to give out for people who may want to contact her?
Do you have a contact that you want to give out if people want to reach you or contact you?
Okay, so you can, if you want to do an inbox on Facebook, you can just, what you have tagged, Tawaka J. Turner, you can inbox me.
Awesome.
Or if you wanted to follow me or something on Instagram, I'm Tawaka J, on Instagram. That's fine. You can do it that way.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds good. Any other questions? No questions? Okay, Mr. Walker. I don't know if you can hear me. I think we're the feed. Okay, there we go.
I hear you.
I want to thank you again so much for taking time from your busy schedule to come on tonight and encourage the people from Facebook Live and Facebook World and YouTube. We really appreciate you. May God continue to bless your ministry. I know you're called to minister healing to people, and I'm thankful that we know you. I'm thankful that you are with us. I'm thankful that we can reach out and get some wisdom from you when it comes to our mental health. And trust me, people of God, we're going to need it even more as time goes on. And it's okay. It's okay to see a therapist. They're wonderful.
Yes.
Trust me,
Yes.
they're wonderful. So thank you so
He
much.
is a wonderful counselor.
Yes. Oh, come
So
on.
why would we not accept counseling?
Yes. I
That
love
if
it.
I'm going to be about my Father's business
Yes.
and following His footsteps,
Yes.
then yes, counseling is okay.
Yes, it is. I totally agree. Kingdom Celebration Center supports counseling.
Yes.
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 So we'll have you close out with a word of prayer, Tawaka, and then we'll close out for tonight. Thanks everybody for listening tonight. If you have any questions, you can go right to her Facebook page and just inbox her, her Instagram page, and she can respond to you that way. But we appreciate you tonight. We love you. We miss you.
Love you, love you, love you, miss you.
Mwah. Okay, can you close us out with a word of prayer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
God, we just thank you right now for just being so great to us and so
Yes.
gracious to us.
Yes.
God, we thank you right now for being the ultimate example of how to love and how to trust and how to act and respond under stress.
Yes.
Lord God, if we continue to listen to you and obey your word, and Lord God, live in faith and not fear, and Lord God, to express love, Lord God, we will be better off after this, God. We
Yes.
know that our latter will be great, Lord God, and we thank you right now in advance. Lord God, I speak to those that are dealing with any type of mental difficulties right now, Lord. Lord God, I ask that you place people around them that will attest to them, Lord God, be vessels to be used by you to speak encouragement, to
Yes.
speak affirmations, to speak life and not death, to encourage, to support. Lord God, allow those people to know that they're not alone, and that if they need to reach out to a stranger, to reach out to me, that they can, Lord.
Yes.
Lord God, I bless you and I praise you right now for just continuing to do your God thing, Lord God, in spite of us.
Yes.
And we will continue to thank you, because in all things we shall give thanks, because your grace is sufficient for this too.
Yes.
And we will bless you and we will praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We
You're
love
welcome.
you. Facebook world, we'll see you soon. We're going to be replaying this throughout the night, and we're going to play it again tomorrow for those who want to hear it. And we may come back on in the future per our bishop.
Absolutely.
With other
Absolutely.
sessions for mental health. So if you have some topics that you want us to discuss, Facebook world, can you just type them in or inbox us, and we'll make sure Tawaka gets them, so the next time we come on to talk about mental health, she'll already have those questions prepared to answer for you.
Absolutely.
All right. God bless you all. We love you. I love you, Tawaka.
Love you too, First Lady. You're the best.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.